From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie B.
Hey Ticats fans, it's digital host Louie B, and in less than 2 weeks, the NHL is coming to Tim Hortons Field, and the ice-making truck came here today, and with it brought a couple of legends, Martin Biron and Wendel Clark, and with us is Simoni Lawrence. And Sim, I want you to tell these guys what the crowd is going to be like. What are Hamilton fans like? What should they be expecting come March 13th?
I don't think these guys are going to have any kind of problem with the crowd that we have in Hamilton. It's a rowdy bunch, so they're going to be looking forward to having hockey in Hamilton just because, hockey's an aggressive sport, and, the Steel City just loves that type of pain, so you guys are in for a treat.
Marty, there's a lot of similarities when you look at Hamilton and Buffalo. Buffalo, a city you live in now, a city you've spent a lot of time. I mean, it is cliche to say they're blue-collar cities, but it's not a cliche. There is a lot of hardworking people who really care about their teams.
Yeah, and we were just talking about blocking shots and taking hits and all of that. The goal scorers are going to get the applause and people are going to love it, but the guys that go out there and they're hard-nosed and they block shots and they get pushing and rowdy after the whistle, that's when the fans really embrace those type of guys. And I have to admit, back in the days when I played with the Rochester Americans, the AHL, we used to come into Hamilton all the time, play the Bulldogs back then. And you're right, the fans were on top of us and they were rowdy. I loved it because we had a lot of success coming in and play Hamilton, but it was definitely one that you had to be ready for it because the fans were a part of it for sure.
Yeah, Wendell, when you look at this city and playing in Hamilton or playing in Toronto, and a lot of Hamilton fans, make that trip to Toronto to see the Leafs. What about this city do you remember? Do you have a favorite memory about being in Hamilton?
It's a good bad memory. 87 trying out Team Canada Cup was held here in the new building. This is the only city I've been cut. I got cut from Team Canada in this town. No, it's awesome. The energy in the buildings. I played some junior trying out for World Juniors in Hamilton, and it's split between the amount of fans that go to Hamilton or go from Hamilton to Buffalo to watch the Leafs play and to listen to that. And it's I know as athletes, you love to be loved in your home, but you also love to be hated. Whenever you can make the visiting crowd dead quiet,
yes,
the road team's having a good game.
Yeah, and Sim, you know a thing or two about that, and we're sitting next to two tough guys. I mean, this guy fought Ray Emery. This guy fought just about anybody who'd ask him. But I mean, when you look at you've been watching hockey once you heard this game's win, you've been picking up on it. When you watch what hockey players do, what stands out to you the most?
Whenever they get close to the boards, that's my favorite because it's just it's like the true test. It's is this guy going to take it easy on? Is he going to lay off on him? What kind of player is he? What's going through his head? So I love any time they get close to the glass, I just jump up who's it? That's my favorite.
And for hockey players watching football players, you're taking hits, you're throwing hits, but there's something a little different about on ice, on skates, and just out there full speed, going hard.
I'll say this. I mean, I've been lucky enough to enjoy watching the CFL or getting to watch the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and fans from Southern Ontario come out to the games, and I don't know how I would do it if I had to, I look at the guys catching the punts, right? The kick return. And they're looking at the ball, and they've got 250-pound guys sprinting at them. So I think for me, people used to say goalies are crazy. They take 100 miles an hour shots at their head, and they just stand in front of that little puck, right, flying at you. I'm saying football players are a lot crazier because they have big people on the field trying to take your head off and go right through you. So I got to give you credit. I got to give you credit for taking all these hits during your career. But for me, I thought it was easy, just a little pop.
I got to give you guys credit for doing it in some skates.
The bonus is we got lucky with hockey. You got the glide. You could loaf out there a little bit.
Oh.
You guys stop moving your feet. That's it. Game's over. That's it. And whenever you get hit, sudden stop. We just kind of glide along the ice face first for a little while.
Well, you guys both got to play alumni games outdoors. You've toured this facility real quick, and it's not quite done. There's still some work to be done, but it's starting to look like it. What's that like? What is it like skating out in front of those crowds, getting to go back to your roots, because that really is what these outdoor games are about, is going back to those roots.
Yeah, no, it's fun because you're going back to playing outdoors and you got all the elements become involved. I know the last game we had, it was snowing in the outdoor game we played in Hamilton, and just the fans, the size, the amount of fans, because now you're in a way bigger stadium than when it's an indoor stadium. And it's really more of a togetherness, especially for hockey being a part of that. It's not the regular building, it's something special, so everybody really gets a lot out of the difference of the game.
I'll tell you this, like I played in the Winter Classic with the Rangers in Philadelphia, and I was the backup goalie in New York, right? So Henrik Lundqvist was the starter, and I'm sitting on the bench. I'm enjoying this. Like I don't get to play, but I get to experience everything. And there was a save, a call that was made late in the game for a penalty shot, and I went to look up to the jumbotron to see the replay, and there was a moon right there. I'm like, no, we're not indoors anymore. Like we're outdoors. So we had to look behind us to the screen to see it. But just that fact, right, that we are so used to being in an arena and used to have the screen up there and a roof over our heads, and now all of a sudden there's wind, there's snow, there's glares, there's the crowd, different perspective, a depth perception from where the crowd is. Usually you get people right on the glass, but now you may not. So it's definitely a unique experience.
And Sim, you know a thing or two about, first of all, the wind in the stadium, but also the crowd, and what, back to what we started with. I mean, these Hamilton fans, deserve this game because they are passionate to just about everything they bring.
Everything that comes to Hamilton, Hamilton's always going to be passionate about it. And I think for this hockey game that, we just got to be careful, make sure nobody jumps onto the ice and stuff like that, because it gets that rowdy, so security has to be extra tight, but we're great hosts.
We want the win at our back for 2 periods, so don't tell Wendel which way of the field should we go, the north or the south side?
All looking at the flags.
The other way.
It changes all the time, I
guess.
guess.
The wind's crazy. If the wind's really going, I'm surprised to see like that dynamic with the skates and everything, because it's like I feel it and I'm like running full speed. So
you talk about gliding, Wendel. All you gotta do is just put your arms out and you'll
playing into the wind's like a whole game of back checking.
Oh,
and I didn't like that.
Come on. Well, gentlemen, thanks so much for doing this. It's going to be great to see you throughout the next couple of weeks. And welcome to Hamilton officially. It's great to see you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.